Hey, good evening. Playing White Box again. The name of this adventure is Bale's Bewildering Predicament. Level 3 White Box game. Have two players for this one so far. We'll start with the background on this one. You've been traveling on the road between adventures as you come up on what appears to be a merchant shop on the forested path. Outside, the sign reads Bale's Trading Post. And you see a picture of a gnome smoking a pipe with a very large smile on his face depicted on the sign. You decide to stop and go inside as you're in no hurry to really get to your next destination. You tie your horse to the hitching post outside. All you hear is quiet and still, kind of eerily quiet and still. Doesn't appear to be any other customers that you can tell, no other horses out front. You start to enter as you walk up the steps and come to the door. You look inside and you see this old gnome sitting on a stool behind the counter. It appears he has a frown on his face. You don't see the smile depicted in the photo. As you open the door, he kind of jumps back startled as he looks up to see you. But then a smile deepens on his face as he says, welcome, welcome. Yes, welcome, please. You look just like the people I need. Let me get you a cup of Grinsel's White Dragon tea while we chat. As he says that to me, Crystal, who are you going to be playing as you enter this shop? And what are your thoughts as this is how he greets you?
What's the weather like outside?
It's a beautiful, sunny day, not too hot.
Great. All right, so as we were traveling on the road, this woman dressed in very simple, like looking like robes, kind of outfit, like only the arms, like the you would expect usually are like missing from this outfit. It's more like a monk kind of uniform, as she is a monk. And she's traveling. She has a straw hat on her head, and she just gently is holding the reins of her horse as she sees the shop ahead, and she smiles a bit and says to her company, hey, how about we stop there to get resupplied? An elf that is following her, dressed in leather armor with a long sword on his horse, says, yes, that'd be a very good idea. I'm quite parched. And the lady nods as they get up to the post and tie up their horses and everything. She grabs a staff and like a walking staff from the back of her horse and begins to head inside. She takes note of it being quiet, but it's an old country road, so it maybe isn't that surprising to her. Such a place where she comes from, there can be lots of shops found like this. And as she opens the door and the bell tingles and she sees this gnome hop up, excited to see some, customers and talking about, people that he needs, she smiles politely at him and says, yes, a cup of white dragon tea would be just lovely. I'm Sai Hugh, and who might you be?
He says, I am the proprietor and the owner of this shop. I am Bale.
And she smiles and nods and says, nice to meet you. This is my companion, Nutriel. And this is, and she points over towards Daniel's character to introduce them.
All right, Daniel.
So, following behind Monk is halfling, small, about 3 foot tall. That's probably normal height for a halfling, anyways. But decked out in fine armor, wielding a crossbow over, kind of slung across her back. She enters the shop and removes her helm, kind of looks around, and says, "Oh, tea is great before lunch or breakfast, or during lunch or breakfast, or also dinner. I am pleased to meet you. I am Corinne, and this is my manservant, Gallo." And you see kind of a middle-aged human, kind of medium build. He's kind of dressed in just kind of average clothes. He's carrying like the pack of equipment basically for the halfling, and has a dagger strapped to his side.
The gnome gets off of his stool and he says, "Yes, yes. Once again, I am Bale Thornbush. I'm the owner of this trading post. I've been here quite a bit. I've never seen y'all travel through here. You must be new through this area, but I've got quite a predicament here that I'm just, it's got me bewildered. Just bewildered, kind of like a dwarf trying to decide if a gem is valuable. But anyway, yes, let me get the tea and I'll be right back." And you see him run back into a room as he comes out with his tray, and you can smell the aroma of the white dragon tea. As he sets it down, he starts pouring it into some cups. And you can tell these cups are very fine, very probably valuable, you would think.
I don't want to be rude, but isn't tea normally served with cake?
Well, just I may have some leftover muffins I made a couple days ago. I've kind of been in a funk the past couple of days, but I'll tell you that in just a moment. But just a moment now, and he'll run back and comes back with what he tells you are Gnarlynut muffins. These are Gnarlynut muffins. They are made from a herb that grows here out in the Nightwolf Woods, which you just are traveling through. But all very delicious, and they're healthy too.
Oh, well, thank you so much. And she will sit down.
Delicious.
She'll sit down and consume a muffin and some tea.
Yes, I will lean her staff against the back of the chair that she sits down in, and she'll take a cup of tea and begin to sip on it as she listens to the gnome's tale.
Well, where do I begin? I guess about 2 days ago. In fact, I'm almost probably the same time of day as it is now. This group of four young people, they were, well, even the elf that was with them was pretty young for their age. They come in and said they were a young group of adventurers who were just starting out. Well, there was this red-haired elf female, and she said she was training to be a ranger one day, so that's why she wanted well, that's why they were going in the woods, I guess, but I'll get to that in just a moment. Then there was this human. He was a poor lad. He was chubby, just, I felt sorry for him. He'd probably been chubby his whole life, and the first sword he had was all rusted. He wanted to know if I would trade for one of the swords I have here, and I just I don't know, his first sword was all rusted up and it just wasn't valuable for even a trade. And then there was very tall, strapping young human man with him too, that he was wearing this beautiful leather armor, and it was almost like it shined black, whatever it was made from. He was the quiet one though, but he was probably one of those fighter guys, if you know what I mean. Just the way he looked. Then there was the blonde woman, the blonde girl. She was kind of meek and mild, wearing these very colorful robes. But anyway, they wanted to see. I rent horses. I have a stable out back, and I have horses, and I rent them to people. And anyway, they had the money to rent these horses, and they were going out into the Nightwolf Woods to look for Gnarlynut. Gnarlynut's a herb that grows out here in the woods, and it's used for various things. You're eating it there in that muffin, but they can be used for other things. Well, anyway, these four adventurers decided that, that's what they wanted to do to start out, that they could grab and get a sack of Gnarlynut and probably sell it and gain them some money. But that was 2 days ago, and they were supposed to be back before dark that day. I told them not to stay out in the Nightwolf Woods. If they weren't familiar with it, the woods, there's things out there in those woods. But anyway, I'm beginning to wonder now if they haven't stolen my horses and just fled and left. But I'm trying to find someone who will go and see if you can track them down and make sure they're okay first. But I'd like to have my horses back too.
I see. Do I know anything about this Gnarlynut? Can I make a roll for it?
Yeah, make an intelligence roll.
Like just a D20?
3D. I'm sorry, 3D6.
Okay. Oh, nice. I made a 9 in my intelligence. My intelligence is an 8. So,
Yeah, it's pretty close. I mean, you when you mentions the name, you've probably heard the name in passing before, maybe, but you don't really know what properties or what it's used for, besides what he's told you.
Oh, it is quite a delicious root. Where do these herbs like to grow?
Well, like I say, you've been traveling on the road, whatever way you come through these, the road through the Nightwolf Woods, and the Gnarlynut herb is it's just everywhere, all out through the woods. But I gave him directions to go towards where the stream runs. That would probably be the best place this time of year to find a good growth of them along the stream that runs there through the woods.
You say that there are many dangers in the woods. Could you specify for us what those dangers are?
I'll give you a hint. Nightwolf Woods.
I see.
Giants?
You know, I've never heard of the giants, but I know there's wolves up there, and there's those they're not a bear and they're not an owl. They're kind of like a combination. I think some crazy magic guy made one time. You know what I'm talking about?
Lizard man?
Yeah, maybe that's what they're called. And then there's
or a hoot roar, perhaps.
There could be all kind of things out there. I don't know. I've heard all the stories through the years of people traveling through here. So just be careful. But your group, y'all look more experienced than they were. Like I say, they were just a bunch of youngsters.
What do you think? Half-elf companion whom I definitely know your name. Karen. Kieran.
Well, I'm not a half elf, I'm a halfling. Elves are like elves except with beards, basically. No, I know you're not from this area.
Yes, where I come from, it's a little different.
Yeah. The half elves and the elves, they don't really like each other because the elves think they're better than the half elves, and the half elves know that they're worse than the elves. Yeah. But I think that's fine. I mean, as long as there's no giants, because giants are really, really, really scary.
Seems like a giant would have a hard time getting to you. I mean, so.
Well, that is true. However, when they do get to one of my stature, it is quite easy for them to eat us in one gulp. At least that's what my mom always told me. I have never seen a giant because I stay away from any place that has giants. Now, that being said, I'm all about wolves. Wolves are very nice. They're cuddly. They're kind of like dogs, except maybe a little more violent. Although, if there's goblins riding them, that could be bad because goblins are, never a good thing.
Have there been any goblins or orcs in this area? Shall I ask the gnome?
Well, I've heard stories through the years. I mean, like I say, I've heard stories of all kind of things up there in the woods.
Okay. Well, we can look into this matter for you.
Well, what I'm going to do is, if you need any provisions, normal provisions right now to go out there, I'll be glad to make an account and we'll just charge it to you right now. But if you come back with my horses, and then like I say, the youngsters need to be safe. That's the main thing. But I just have a feeling that they've stolen my horses. But anyway, if you find my horses and bring them back, I will make sure that you leave on your next journey with a special item.
Sounds intriguing. I believe I could use a refill of the water skin for now, but I do not require anything further at the moment.
Yes, there's a well out back, a fresh well that but I get all my water for myself and my animals. So yes, you can fill it up as much as you want.
Appreciate it. Kieran, do you need anything?
No, I think I'm doing well. Thank you, though. I appreciate you thinking of me. I think maybe we should try to go out and get back before it gets dark, though, because just in case there are goblins or anything, or giants.
And also, it's called Nightwolf, which would lead me to believe that the wolves are more active in the dark.
Right.
Let's go then.
If possible, Karen will take another muffin with her, and she will, put her helmet on and walk out and say, Gallo, come, let's get the horses. Although her horse is like a horse, but it's a very small horse.
Yep, there are three muffins left, and you see him wrap them up in some cloth, and he says, "Take them all, and you may need them out there."
Ah, you are very kind. And she takes the last bit of muffin from the one that she was eating, and she throws it into her mouth. These are very good. These are very good. Hopefully, we'll be back before dinner. What are you gonna? Oh nope, surprise me, and then she'll go out.
So I will bow a bit to the gnome in a respectful way, and then she will head out herself. And as she gets out, I meant to say she removed her straw hat when she stepped inside, but now that she is stepping back outside and she has her staff in her hand, she will put her straw hat back on.
Yeah, and he shows you a trail out back. As you go out back, you do see the stable where there's a couple horses there, and he shows you the trail that they left on. That he thinks that that the direction he told them to go. Y'all are able to follow that trail at first, pretty easy as you enter into the Nightwolf Woods. In fact, they left a pretty easy trail once you get there. I mean, you can see that they were, as he said, they were all a bunch of youngsters, and they're not making any kind of alms to hide their trail at all as you follow it. And the day progresses fairly well as you enter into the woods. Later that afternoon, you kind of believe that it's probably fixing to be dark, maybe by the way the sun and the shadows and stuff. You think it's probably going to be dark within the next couple of hours, and you're still following this trail with no sign, no visible sign, or no audible sign of them yet.
It's beginning to get dark. We may have to set up a camp here fairly soon.
You said it's going to be dark in a couple hours. How long have you been traveling? Sorry if I missed that part.
Y'all been out probably about 3 to 4 hours, you would think. Every time you stop and take a break and keep following the right trail.
All right, so it's not possible. We don't think to even get back to where we started before it gets dark. So
yeah, probably. I mean, it would be very. You'd think it'd be hard to get back to the shop.
Yeah, right. Okay. In that case, then Karen will say, yes, I think you're right. My stomach is rumbling. It's almost time for dinner. And, there's probably not any, and she kind of looks around, wolves will bother us if we put a fire up, because wolves don't like fire, because it's hot, I guess.
I say build a fire high to keep the wolves away. There's plenty of trees around. We should be able to find plenty of debris to build a good high fire.
Well, that's a good idea. I mean, high is relative to the person, I suppose. Yeah, I think you're right. It's good. And she'll get her horse and she'll start to get her equipment down, and she'll have Gallo, gather some wood. Don't go too far.
Neutral, please help them gather some supplies, some rocks, so that we can contain the fire as well.
Yeah, as y'all prepare to get down and do that, roll me a d6. You can roll one for your main and your backup. Uh-oh.
Sai got a 4 and Neutral got a 5.
All right.
Karen got a 3. I'll roll another d6 for this while I find that. And 1 for Gallo.
Gallo, as he prepares to, going out searching for some good wood, he gets a whiff of what he would know would be like smoke that probably come from a campfire or something. He would know that it's not burning right now, but it's coming through kind of on past the area where he's looking. Smells that smoke of a recent campfire.
Oh. Well, he definitely, being the manservant, would come back and say, Mistress, it seems that we may have traveled at the same rate as our prey, because I smell a fire in this area, probably from them. Put out maybe yesterday. Or, yeah.
Interesting.
So he's going to look around for it.
Yep. You search for it, and you are able to find what appears to be a small. There's a small opening in the woods with some grass. Where they've looked like a campsite was set up, and you can see the ashes of a fire, from probably a couple of days ago, and you start seeing a bunch of scattered leftover food, like rations and stuff, and that weren't all eaten, and they're just kind of scattered around. But you can definitely tell somebody did camp here within the past day or two.
Does it look like they're just, messy people?
Yeah, you just tell they're messy. I mean, you can tell it doesn't appear like anything else happened. They just, threw their stuff down as they left.
Yeah. So Karen will say, see, he's right. They were definitely youthful, inexperienced adventurers. Should know leaving a trail of food is going to attract animals.
Indeed. We should be careful while we're here.
Yeah, and she's gonna look around at she's gonna look at the food. Being a halfling, she knows about food, and she's gonna see if the food looks like it's been eaten or messed with by animals in the 2 days it's been sitting here, or if it's just kind of sitting there rotting.
Yeah, you look at some of it, and you can definitely tell there's been some type of what you would think some type of forest animals or something that have come up and been nibbling at parts of it.
Okay. Yeah,
now, are those tents and stuff actually there?
No, there's no tents or nothing. It's just a leftover fire that was built and thrown out food and refuse.
Okay. I think
are we using the map? No. I'm sorry. Are we on the map now?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. I was confused. Okay. Well, I think it would be best for us not to sleep in this area, as they've already had this food. Certainly, animals will have remembered this location and will be coming back. Let us clean up this mess and go set up our camp back in our original location.
If they left a pit with the fire, then we could throw the trash in there and just have a second fire there and just burn their stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not going to carry it with me. I'm
yeah,
not that
exactly.
much an environmentalist.
No, yeah, that's what Sai was thinking as well. Like, if this is a good enough clear area, she'll put the stuff in the pit there, and she'll pour like a little bit of oil over it, and then she'll use her flint and steel to, spark up.
All right.
And
yep.
burn that stuff.
Y'all do that, and then gather all your stuff and prepare. And it's getting pretty dim light now. I mean, it's fixing to be dark very soon after all this is done.
Okay. Sai will make basically a hammock between two trees. Probably get something I don't have this kind of stuff written down. I have some rope, of course, but I imagine basically tarp or something that she could use to make a hammock for herself.
Yep.
And and then she'll use like her water bottle to like pull it over to one side so that it won't come open during the night and the mosquitoes can't like get to her.
Yeah, what kind of watch order for each? There's 4 of y'all, so how would you like to do that from beginning to end?
How many watches will there be? 3?
4? There's 4 of you, right?
4? Okay. All right. And what, we have to cover 8 hours then?
Yeah, I mean, roughly 8 hours of rest and all that.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna say Sai says that she'll take the first watch for everyone, and she would like for Neutral to take basically like I guess the third watch would be the darkest part, whichever would be darkest because his elf eyes.
Okay. Yeah, because Karen takes a decent amount of time to put her armor on and off, if she's not going to do first watch, she'll do last. That way she can just put it on and off once. She doesn't want to put it on and take it back off again. So she'll do last watch. So I guess that means Gallo will do second watch.
All right, sounds good to me. Sai, as you begin your watch, and meditate or whatever you do, as the rest of them try to get some rest, you do hear some noise. Roll me a d6.
Okay. Roll 5.
Huh, perfect. Maybe not perfect, but anyway. Is probably you would think progressing to the end of your watch. I mean, it's definitely night. The rest of the party's camped out, sleeping pretty well, probably from what you could tell. You hear noise coming from deeper into the woods, and then you look up and you start seeing some eyes appear, and you start hearing some. Let me get my folder open, and I will put a picture over, and I will show you what you see. You will see sets of eyes peering through into your camp. And you start hearing growling.
Okay. Sai is going to grab a torch. I assume she would have torches next to her since she's already said like a big fire would might help scare away wolves or whatever. And she's going to, put it into that to the fire to light it up, and then she's gonna start kind of waving it towards the woods basically, and she'll raise her voice to alert her party and be like that's far enough, get back now, get back.
So you're going to talk louder, so maybe help to wake some of the party up, you said?
Yes, and also kind of trying to intimidate the wolves.
Let's see, Daniel, for your 2 characters, roll constitution checks. We'll say the henchman will just have a con of 10.
Okay.
3d6 on your con.
Okay.
And also Sai for your henchman.
So.
My henchman definitely does not wake up.
Okay, so
right.
Aaron does not. No, actually, she matches it. Equal to is fine, right?
Yep, equal to, or less.
That's 11, so that's actually equal to my con. And the henchman. Oh, they both wake up. That's a 9.
All right. Yeah, they both wake up at hearing the loud voice of Sai then, and y'all can take it from there.
Yeah, so Kieran's going to reach over and grab her crossbow and kind of put a bolt into it. And she's going to say to Gallo, take a torch. And he'll do exactly what Sai did. He'll pick up a torch as well and kind of, maybe look the opposite direction just in case because knowing that wolves sometimes circle around. So if she's looking off, let's say to the north, he'll get on the southern side with the torch and kind of, even if he doesn't see any wolves, he'll kind of just be waving it in that direction.
All right. You see maybe size you as this is going on, you actually would think you've seen enough sets of eyes that you know there's probably 4 different wolves, but you see one set of eyes disappear back into the woods. The other 3 are starting to growl and move in even closer. So we'll just roll initiative and go from there. We'll use D6 tonight. D6 if you got a Dex mod.
Yep. For each of our characters.
No, just your NPC will go on your turn.
Okay.
What'd you get, Si?
5.
All right. And what about Kieran?
3.
All right. Si, you can tell us what you want to do then. As you see that, 3 sets of what you think are 3 of them there.
Can I roll another con check first for my henchman?
Yeah, if you want to do him. If you want to do him first, yep, sure can.
3d6.
Yep, 3d6 and his con's 10.
9. So he just made it. So
all right.
Now with the second torch going up and all the ruckus, he kind of starts pulling back the hammock. And, he's kind of he probably reaches out and grabs his sword by instinct because he's getting ready, but he's just getting ready this turn. He's not quite awake yet.
Yep, that sounds good.
And as the wolves are approaching, let's see, are all 3 coming out from one side?
Yeah, they're kind of in a group. Been pretty close in a group there, kind of like in that picture in a way, as they're approaching, coming closer.
And how close are they?
You can see that they're probably your light from the fire and the torches that are being brought are not enough to see their whole bodies yet, but you're thinking they're probably 40, maybe 50 feet.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, she's gonna take her sling then. She has a torch, so I imagine she could load a sling stone with a torch in her hand. Shouldn't be that difficult. And she'll go ahead and sling one of these wolves. And let me look at the distance on that sling because I can't remember it.
It's probably, I don't know either. I have to look.
30 foot, so there should be medium range, I think.
Yeah, so it'll just be no bonus, just normal if it's medium, I believe.
I think it's +2, +1, and then 0 in white box, isn't it?
No, it should be just +1, 0, -1, I would think. I had to look it up.
That's how BX is +1, 0, -1. I actually thought.
Oh, wow, you're right, Crystal. It is. There is a +2 to hit bonus for missile weapons at short range, +1 at medium. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, I figured it'd be 1 and 1. But, okay, so, yeah, it'd just be +1 then.
Jeez, I thought it was the opposite of that.
Yeah, I did too.
I thought it was.
But she's. Oh, sorry. She'll miss either way. She rolls an 8, so she tries to sling the stone, but I'm going to say that she kind of does it on purpose. So she's trying to still kind of warn the wolves, and it smacks into the ground. She's still trying to not kill them if possible. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it.
That sounds good. Kai, you and or Kieran, you and the wolves both had a 3, so you can go.
Okay. Thinking for some reason that the monk is doing a warning shot in front of him, but Kieran doesn't think that that's a good idea because wolves are pretty deadly, so she's going to shoot at her crossbow. So she's actually in short range. She gets +2, which is pretty awesome. So 15 +2 is 17, then plus my normal plus, which is +4, so that's 21. So
yeah, that hits one of them.
Yeah. 4, so actually 3 points because the light crossbow is more than a D6 -1, so 3 points of damage.
All right, you strike into one as it cries out. For sure. What about your helper?
He's going to stay watching the flank with the torch.
All
if
right.
anything comes at him from that direction, he'll strike it with the torch as it approaches, but he's not going to turn. He's going to keep his back to Karen, basically. If they're back-to-back-ish.
You see another set of eyes disappear. You're not for certain, but it may have been the one that just got shot with the crossbow bolt, but you see another set of eyes disappear. You see two large bodies, kind of like that picture of the two up front there. You see both of them move in, walking and growling and snarling, and they will take off running towards the first one. Is going to run towards your henchman, Kieran.
Great.
And it is going to lunge and jump past. Maybe he swings the torch at the last minute, you know, to kind of misjudge, and it's going to jump past him and miss.
Okay. Will he get an attack though, because he was waiting for it and not to next round?
Yeah, if you want to, like, you got the torch in your hand, so yeah, if you want to try to.
Yeah. Oh, 17.
Yeah, that hits the wolf.
What does a torch do? D4?
We'll say a D6 -1, just to keep it.
Right. Yeah, keep forgetting white box.
Huh.
So 5 minus 1 is 4. So 4.
Yeah, you singe some fur. You smell the fur burning. The other wolf is going to run. Oh wow, it runs towards him too. They don't like that torch, I guess.
No, I guess not.
Oh my gosh, that one. Let me think. I'm gonna think of something good for this because it rolled a natural 1.
Oh.
It is going. I tell you what it's going to do. It's going to run and jump and lunge because it thinks it has you off guard as you're battling that other wolf. But as it does, it slips on something and jumps into the actual fire. So roll me a D6 -1 for some fire damage to that one.
Nice. 4 minus 1 is 3.
All right. Yeah, you see it jump into y'all's like campfire as it's starting to scream and yell out. So that puts us back towards you, Sai, as you see one wolf burning on your campfire and the other one just got singed by a torch from Gallo.
All right, Sai, like basically quickly, just whips the sling around her wrist, basically, so that it's in her hand, so she can make a fist, and she'll run up and try and hit that wolf that's on Gallo at the moment. And this time it's an 18 to hit.
Yep.
And with my fist, I do a D4 damage. So 3 points of damage as she close punches it in the head.
Yeah, you do a pretty good punch to it. You see it kind of falter down some. It's still standing, but you whatever you just did damage it pretty good. What about Nutriel?
Oh, I'm sorry, Nutriel. Right, I'm sorry. Nutriel, he's finally kind of like come to his senses as that one wolf has jumped in the fire. And since that one's in the fire, he's going to kind of ignore that one. And I'm going to say that he'll also rush the one that, that everyone else is trying to attack at the moment.
All right.
But he only rolls a 7. And so he tries to come in elf-like, but whisks over the wolf.
Yep, misses. And we're up to you, Kieran.
Okay, so Kieran is going to spin around, and seeing that there's so many bodies around the one wolf, she's going to shoot the bow at the other one in the fire.
The one that's trying to get out of the fire, okay?
Yeah, so that's 11 plus 4 is 15.
Oh, yeah, that hits it.
It's okay. Oh, max damage, 5 points.
All right, and roll. Well, what is your henchman going to do first? And then I'll tell you.
Well, he's going to attack the one that's on him with the torch.
Yep. Roll me some fire damage for the one that's in the fire, but you just crossbow bolt 2, D6 -1.
Okay. Only 1 more point.
All right. It will take effect here shortly. All right. Go with Gallo on the one.
All right, so Gallo's he's got that torch in his hand. He's going to see if he can whack this one that's on him again. He rolls a 12.
That's 12 will hit him.
Oh, good. All right. 1 point. His torch is probably starting to...
The wolf's still standing. The one that's in the fire after your bolt hits it, it's trying to get out of the fire, and you kind of push it back in the deal, and you see it fall over. It's laying in the middle of the fire as the fire is starting to be extinguished, not moving.
Oh,
The one that is on you, Gallo is going to try to bite you. Oh, it will bite Gallo. He'll take 3 points of damage.
oh, he's still up.
And we're back to you, Sai, then.
Okay. If Sai retreats, will the wolf get an attack on her?
I'm going to say no because all of y'all are in a group. I'll just say no.
Okay, then Sai is gonna back off. Like basically, I'm gonna say she kind of gets behind Newt, and she's gonna say, "I trust you can take care of this." And she's gonna try to quickly run over, and that wolf corpse, she wants to pull it out of the fire so that it doesn't extinguish their campfire.
Yeah, they're big wolves, but make me a strength check, 3d6 against your strength.
Oh,
To see if you're able to pull it by yourself.
Okay. Oops. Okay. And 10, she doesn't manage to.
Do you want to have Nutriel to come over to help you?
No, she's already gave Nutriel the order to finish off the wolf. So.
All right. Yep.
Yeah.
You're
She thought she could handle it on her own.
You're pulling on the wolf body, but just not able. It's big. It's the big wolf.
Especially with this torch in her hand, she's struggling with it. Nutriel will attack the wolf again.
All right.
This time it's a 14 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
And 3 points of damage.
What is Nutriel?
Longsword is 3, right? I mean, a longsword is a D6, right?
Yep, D6. What does Nutriel do to take them out?
Yeah, like he when Sai tells him that she believes him and everything, he kind of courages up and just stabs his sword just right, landing a blow like through the wolf's heart, and he pulls his sword again. All
right. The ones that disappeared back into the woods, y'all don't hear any growling or anything, or see any eyes peering at you at this time.
So Gallo is going to say to Nutriel, he's going to say, someday when I get back to my homeland and I am crowned king, I will remember this and honor you with land and a title. And then he kind of falls on the ground because he's pretty beat up.
And you can actually do the bind wounds on them if you want to.
Oh, you can bind, okay.
Yeah, I'll let him.
Nutriel will say, "I'll handle him. I think Sai needs help." And Sai will look over to Kieran, and I guess Nutriel would actually probably. It make more sense for him to help Sai.
All right. Y'all can move. Y'all can move the wolf now, but there's nothing else distracting you. Are you able to get the wolf out of the fire and get it going again?
Yeah, Karen will help. I think Gallo being pretty hurt, he's gonna bind his wounds. He binded for 3 points. So that's actually
right.
He's back
Great.
up. It's a D6, right? Not a D6 -1.
Yeah, just D6. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So he's back to 4 then.
Yeah, Nutriel to celebrate their little victory, he pulls out a little water skin that's full of elven wine and gives some for everyone to drink.
Yeah, Gallo is definitely down to drink after having had a near-death experience, and of course Karen's always down to drink. Not too much though, because they got duty.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Sai, you finish your watch as everybody else probably they get the wounds bound and probably go back to sleep. You finish the rest of the end of your watch. Unfortunately, Gallo is going to have to be woken up for the next one.
Well, I got a question. If Sai wanted to watch through Gallo's, what kind of penalty would she incur for doing that?
If you want to do Gallows for him, and do half of the night, you would have to make a con check to see if it's going to affect you the next day.
3d6?
Yep, 3d6 on your con.
Yeah, I'll chance it. I think I want to give Gala a chance to rest. So, 36, 9 under 10. So just barely.
Yeah, you're wore out by the time it's over, but you're able to pull through if you're training as a monk.
Yeah, and she'll go and wake Nutriel and tell him it's time for his watch. He can go frolic naked under the moon.
He does that, and as he does that, roll for Nutriel. Roll me a D100.
Okay. A 1.
Wow.
It's either really good or really bad. It's like either really, really good or really, really bad, depending on what game we're playing.
You, Nutriel, is probably mid watch. It's the deepest part of the night, roughly. He hears like a almost like a fluttering noise, of what maybe he would think would be a moth or something. But as he looks and walks around, he sees a flock of these bright red, because they're kind of iridescent in a way, these bright red crimson butterflies as they come flying by, almost in a frenzy as they fly by him into the woods, into the forest deeper in, but they don't affect him or do anything. They just fly right close by him and continue into the woods. And he sees them, eventually they're red flashing and disappear.
He takes it as a beautiful sign of nature and, finishes up the rest of his watch.
All right. And then you wake Kieran up for the last one.
Yeah, and then he'll help Kieran get her armor on too if she needs it.
Kieran, roll me a D100 for your watch. See what happens.
Okay.
Because y'all are not getting good rolls on these encounters.
Well, you don't know. Let's see if a 63 is a good roll.
Because I'm rolling a D6 for it. I keep rolling a 1 or 2 every time. So yep, y'all are having something happen. It looks like the first night.
It's a busy night.
Hey, the gnome warned you.
63.
All right. As you're walking around outside of you're patrolling, looking for those wolves or hearing any sign, you find a half-eaten body of some deer that is, of a deer that's laying out there. And, why you didn't smell it earlier, you don't know, but it seems to be fairly fresh, probably happened earlier that day. But you find a body of a half-eaten deer out along the perimeter.
Okay. Yeah. Probably shouldn't have camped so close to it, she thinks. That might have attracted the wolves. So she'll just take note of that. She's not going to move a half a deer by herself because she's only a tiny little halfling. So she'll go back to the camp and just keep an eye in that direction.
Yep, the rest of the night goes by peaceful as morning will arise for your group.
All right, sounds good.
Y'all head out and are able to continue to follow this trail that these 4 young adventurers have left. You follow it for what you would think of about 3 hours that morning. It's getting mid-morning, we'll say about 10 o'clock. And you come into this natural cleared area that's in the forest. It's just a natural clearing that you would think it's roughly about 40 by 40. And, the grass is kind of trampled down from where the horses come through. And both of you, well, actually, all 4 of y'all roll a D6.
If you want to roll a D6 for me, I got a cat on my chest.
All right.
And
I got a 6 and a 1. So the 6 would be for you and the 1 for your henchman.
yeah, I'll find it.
I got a 6 and a 3 for myself and my henchman.
Your henchman, Nutriel, may be thinking about seeing those butterflies the night before, he's looking for stuff. And he finds a couple of arrows that are in this trampled down path. And as he's looking at them, he sees what appears to be a small blood trail that's in this trampled down area of this clearing.
He will wave to the group and say, oh, some arrows and yet some blood. Perhaps the adventurers we seek have been doing some hunting of their own.
How fresh is the blood?
Once you go over and look at it, you can tell the blood trail is you can still have the smell of it once you get over there, but you would think it would be within the past 48 hours.
Okay. But not like, it's not so wet, so it's not like it just happened.
Yeah, and also roll me a, let's see, just the main characters, the two main characters, roll me a D6.
2.
Could you roll it for me again?
Yeah, I sure can. Oh, you had a 3. Kieran, you look at the arrows a little closer, and being that your arrows are special made for your halfling size, you look at these arrows and you can tell these are not standard arrows either. I mean, they're probably not for human-sized people.
They're small like mine or larger?
Yeah, they're small.
Interesting. She points that out. So it could be elf maybe, or it could be some other small creatures that attack the party. Are elves small in this world?
They're they're normal. They would use a normal size.
Oh, okay. So they're not little. Not like
Did the gnome say anything about them having a halfling in their party or anything?
No. Said an elf and 3 humans. So perhaps they will something small.
So I would like to look at the arrow. Does it look like it's like good quality? Like it was made by professional like Fletcher or whatever? Or does it look more crappy?
Yeah, roll me 3d6 on intelligence as you're looking at it.
Could you roll me 3d6?
Yep, I'll do it.
Sorry, I got this cat on my chest. And he's
just remind me because I don't remember. So. Oh man, close. 1 over.
Okay.
9 out of 8.
All right.
Yeah, you look at it and you're just. I mean, it's not something that you would know much about. I mean, with your background as you.
Yeah.
You're not for sure.
Well, I guess we should keep our eyes open. The gnome did say that they heard rumors of goblins and such in the woods. And I guess that they will continue on afterwards.
Yeah, and once you kind of begin, continue after you see that and follow the trail out of his clearing, and it would appear that the horses that maybe the humans were on, or the human and the elf, that the leased horses, it appears they're being led at this point. So they're not somebody's actually, if there's somebody riding them, they're actually being led by someone on the ground.
Like the trails, like they're being led?
Yeah, the horses are being led on the trail instead of actually just normal riding.
Are the tracks that are leading the horses human, or do they look,
They are humanoid looking.
Okay. Are there bare feet, or are there shoes?
Oh, you can tell they're probably without any type of shoes. It's bare.
Well, here there are some bare feet. Though again, they had no halflings in their party, so this is a worrying sign to me.
I agree, especially since we're watching for owl bears. Could they be owl bear feet?
They look humanoid. I have never seen the feet of one of the hoot growls, but I guess we can't rule it out.
Okay, she says, and proceeds merrily forward. Is the ground here as such that we probably should lead our horses? Like, is it a narrow path? Is the ground wet?
No, you can continue. Y'all can continue riding them if you wanted to.
Huh. Okay. Well, Karen definitely thinks it's
perhaps if these humanoids are leading our horse by foot, perhaps we should consider doing the same. We don't want to be ambushed while on our horses, after all.
Well, why not? The horses move 3 times as fast as we do.
Yeah, that's about it. I mean, how thick is the forest? Like, could we ride pretty fast through the woods?
No, it's not going to be fast travel, but I mean, it would be better than going on foot, of course. You would know that.
Okay. Yeah, you're wise. Perhaps it was my restlessness last night. Has my brain a bit thinking weird. Oh, let us continue then.
Yes, if the path becomes tighter, your idea is quite wise. But while we can still ride the horses, I think we'll manage. And yeah, she'll kick her horse forward. Although we're going slow enough, right, that I can probably rest the crossbow across my lap with the arrow in it.
Yep, sounds good.
If need be.
And Sai will have like a sling, like a rock already in a sling. So all she has to do is like start twirling it.
Y'all continue and follow the trail. It's very easy to follow. You probably go what you would think would be another 2 hours or so. As it's early afternoon, and you all come out to what really surprises every one of you, especially being out in the middle of the woods. You come out into a road. There's a road through the woods. This road's not very wide. You can tell it's not well maintained, but it's definitely a road that's being used by someone or something. And there are some wagon tracks that are going through that you can tell there was a wagon come through here recently.
Karen says,
at this point, the footprints most of them seem to, stop or whatever. The horses continue, but there's definitely wagon tracks too.
Karen says, I'm so hungry I could eat a wagon wheel. And then she gets something to eat.
Yes, I agree. Can we tell which way the wagon traveled? Like,
oh yeah, you can definitely tell which way it come from and which way it's traveling right now.
Yes, well, let us have a quick meal, and then we will follow these wagon tracks. Perhaps these are the adventurers that we seek, or at least someone who may have seen them before.
That's a good idea.
So we'll have lunch, and then we will follow the wagon.
You follow the wagon tracks, and you can tell maybe that the horse tracks, it's not pulling the wagon. The other horse tracks, maybe that a couple of them were tied to probably the back of this wagon. As it's falling behind the back of the wagon. Y'all will follow it for probably another couple hours, and it's kind of like the first day. It's probably about 2 hours before dark, and you will come into the area. Let me pull it up myself so I can refer to it myself. Let me switch over here. You come into that area of where the map is, and you're coming from what I would say the left side, which will say is the west. It opens up into another clearing. We'll say each square is roughly 10 feet, but you see a large fire in the middle of this clearing. You see 3 smaller tents to the south. You see one larger tent to the north, and you see the wagon on the far east side of it. And everybody roll me. You can roll for everybody. You want me to roll for you, Crystal?
Please.
A D6, okay. You got 6s.
2 and a 4. So 2 for Karen and 4 for Gallo.
Karen, you notice around the let me count these squares real quick because we'll put you where the arrow is. So that's a good 200 feet or more, I would say, to that wagon. You notice around the wagon, you can tell it's kind of got a cage around it, like there's a cage or almost bars around part of the wagon. But you also notice 3 figures walking around them, around the wagon. You see these figures walking.
Oh, the ugliest gnomes I've ever seen. So Karen will, she'll say, okay, we're a bit of a distance away. We should probably try to sneak up on them a bit. Let me head across the northern part, and you guys all go south so you can hide behind those tents. The sound of the street.
I can stealth pretty well myself. Perhaps I could get up to their camp and surprise them or something.
Yeah, that's what I think. We could basically we'll surround them. But Karen needs to go by herself because her halfling sneakiness.
Right.
Because she has that. In combat, halflings can be quite stealthy, making themselves hard to spot and moving almost total silence. It says success ability by the referee, or die roll can be used 1 to 5 on a d6, including success. I think that's probably if she's by herself. So she's going to just try to creep.
Sai says she's going to go south and use her stealth ability because she can stealth pretty well. And she suggests that, like, basically once she and Karen attack, that the 2 humans could come in from the west, and basically it'll be like a big pincer move. Like they'll be attacking from 3 different directions.
All right, Si, you want to go to the south and kind of come in behind the 3 smaller tents, correct?
Yeah, and I can roll now. My cat got off.
And Kieran, you're going to go to the bigger tent, come from the north.
Yep.
All right, and then at some signal or something, you're going to send your 2 henchmen straight in towards the fire, right?
Basically, when battle begins, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, because what Karen's going to tell them is because she has a bow. I don't know if anyone else has a bow, but she's going to get in her position and try to like take out one of the ugly gnomes, from a hidden position. And I assume then that would start the confrontation. Oh, you also have missile weapon, right, Crystals?
I do. I have a sling, and I'm going to try and stealth. I have an actual stealth thing.
Yep, I just rolled for both of y'all.
Nice.
We'll start with you, Si.
Okay.
You head up north, sneak along the edge there. As you get closer, you see the 3 goblins, walking around the wagon, what appears to be a half of the open wagon and half of these bars. And you notice there are 4 figures inside of the cage. You can tell for sure that there's a couple male humans and what looks like another human with long blonde flowing hair. And you see a red-headed figure now also. And of course that would relate you back to the description that was given by Bale of these 4 young adventurers. The goblins are laughing and carrying on. But as you get close north of that big tent, Si, you hear a noise that comes out of that. There's an opening there on the north side of a tent, and there's another small goblin walks out, and it looks like he's probably fixing to urinate, and he sees you, Si.
Okay, hold on. He sees me because I'm going north, or he sees Si because Si's on the south side.
I'm sorry. Here it's Kieran because it's to the north. I'm sorry, Kieran. I don't want to keep saying Si.
Oh, so it is me. So I failed with the 5 and 6. Okay. So
I had a 6 for you.
No, that's cool. So I put an arrow through him then as soon as I see him step out.
Yeah, he's not expecting anybody, so yeah, take a shot at him.
Yeah, that's my plan. I just want to make sure who it was. Okay, so 16 plus 2 plus 4, so 22. I'm sure.
That definitely hits him.
Yeah, she's a pretty good archer. 5 minus 1 is 4 points of damage.
Whew, just enough. You take him out as he falls face down, about to relieve himself. Now he's really relieving himself now.
Yeah, exactly.
The three, you can, you can see enough around that corner of that big tent to see the wagon. You don't think that any of the other three around the wagon heard or noticed anything.
Okay, good.
We'll go down to you now, Si. Now I got the names right.
Hey, before I go over, I do want to say, like, I have my sling in my hand, and in my other hand, I do have like my staff, and I'm probably carrying it like kind of on my arm a little bit, so that I can actually control it and not hit anything. But I do have my staff.
All right. Sounds good. You go down to the south, work your way around, and you see the same thing. You can see the figures in the caged part of the wagon, and you definitely know that that's probably the four missing adventurers. And of course, y'all see horses tied up there on that stake outside the big tent. We'll say that's where the horses are. Out of the little tents come two goblins, and Si, they catch you also, as you weren't expecting. And oh wow, they're actually going to surprise you too. Both of them are armed with like these little short sword scimitar-looking deals. They both start yelling and run towards you, Si. They're probably, we'll say, 10, 20, 30 feet. So they're going to get to you. Let's see here. Get all my dice together. One of them will hit you, Si. Ooh, for max damage, 5.
Ooh.
The other one will miss you.
All right.
And what we'll do is we'll just we'll go ahead and roll initiative for everybody, and get everybody placed. What did you get, Si?
A 6.
All right, perfect. Kieran?
4 for me.
All right. Si, you're up on a 6 because these two goblins are standing on top of you.
All right, then Sai drops her sling, and she'll retaliate using her staff against the one that hit her. She pulls it around and tries to whack that one. With a 10, I'm sure she'll miss.
Yeah, that's for all your bonuses. Yeah, you'll miss.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Kieran, and then
your two guys, they're a long ways off, but do you want them to start or at least your guy to start that way?
As soon as I see those goblins head out towards Sai, New will begin running. Yeah, and he'll shout out, Sai!
All right, yep, he's running that way. Kieran, you probably hear all this going on after you dispatched the one with your arrow as you're up next.
Okay. Can I get a good shot at one of the ones that's by the wagon before they
yeah, that would be roughly 10, 20, 30, 40, about 50, 60 feet. Yeah.
Okay, so 60, so it's just barely in short range for me. So
we'll call it short range.
Okay. Ooh, natural 20. Ba-ba! Finally.
All right, so max damage, then roll again.
Okay, so 5 plus 2, so 7.
Yeah, where does it hit him? You picked the right spot to get him.
Yeah, he actually turns, to listen or whatever, and the arrow just goes right through his neck. He falls to the ground. Gala is going to spur his horse forward, and he's going to charge straight at the center of the camp, making noise. And he's going to yell out the battle cry from his homeland. That's probably foreign to anybody around here.
All right. He can do that. He's moving that way. The goblins.
I don't know the horse moves, but it'll probably take a couple rounds, I'm assuming, to get there.
Yeah, it's going to take at least, probably the next one or maybe the one after, probably when they get involved. But the goblins had a 2. The ones that are on you, we'll start with those 2. Oh man, one of them rolled a 3 and one of them rolled a 5, so they both miss you.
Good.
The 2 by the wagon see their companion go down. Let's see if they notice you or notice where it comes from. They do not. They're just looking around, trying to figure out where this come from, and they hear the noise coming from down below the 3 tents, but they're looking around this time. So we're back to you, Si.
Okay, so yeah, Sai will again attempt to hit one of these goblins with her staff. Ooh, and this time she gets a 15 to hit.
Yeah, that hits one.
And she'll smack it for 5 points of damage.
You smack him in the right part of the brain where he falls.
Nice.
Yeah, she like brings her like she like two-handed like yeah like on top of the head, and you just hear a giant like crack.
Yep, he is falling and he is not getting up.
And New is still charging.
Yep, New is charging.
The
Nutriel is charging your way.
Yeah.
All right. Kieran, you notice the 2 goblins around the wagon. They don't. They're looking around and trying to figure out what the hell is going on.
Okay. If it's possible for me to do this, I want to kind of like drop down so that I can stay as hidden as possible and still try to shoot one. So if I stick a minus or something on the roll, it's fine. Because I want to kind of hide / shoot at the same time, even though I know you can't really do that, but somewhere in that mix.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
we'll just say, since you're at the corner of the tent or whatever, or we'll say I'll just say a -1 for that.
okay. Yeah. Just so I want to stay as hidden as possible. So 14 minus 1 will be 13, then +6, so 19.
Oh yeah, you hit them.
Ooh, 5 minus 1 is 4.
Yep, you take another one out of the wagon.
I'm pulling a Daryl with a crossbow over here.
Yep, he is down. Your guy's still riding towards the middle, right?
Yep, he's charging right towards that wagon.
All right. The one goblin by the wagon sees the horseman coming in, so he don't know where the arrows are coming from. He takes off running towards the front of the big tent, like he's running probably towards towards Gallo, as far as you would know, because now he's out of your vision. The 2 that are on you, Si, one of them will hit for 3 points of damage with that old nasty looking sword. And that's
Wait,
it.
there's
Right
only
now.
one on me, right?
Yep, that's it. There's one on you, and we're back to you.
Okay, so I will attempt to hit him with her staff. That's a total of 18 to hit for 3 points of damage.
Yep, you take him out then.
Okay, yeah. So she gets cut with like the sword, or maybe like because HP are just a representation of like luck. So like he swings the sword, and she like luckily manages to dodge out of the way, and it opens up enough that she manages to like slam her staff like right into his throat, and he just like starts to like gag for air before he hits the ground.
He does, and he hits the ground, not moving. Your Nutriel is getting pretty close to you by now as he's coming that way. And we're back.
Go ahead.
Well, go ahead.
I was just gonna say he sees Sai take down the camp. He said the camp's like 30 foot away, right?
The camp? Which part of the camp?
Like where the fire pit and the wagon and stuff are.
The fire
pit.
The fire pit from you is probably 40 to 50. The wagon would be a good 60 to 70, probably from where you're at.
Okay, yeah. So Sai,
because you're below the 3 small tents.
Yeah. So Sai will like wait for New to continue his charge for her then.
All right, Kieran, the goblin is out of your vision with you behind the tent.
Okay, so since she's not, so a guy came out of the back of the tent to urinate. So there's an opening in the back, right?
Yeah, there's like a flap you pull up and walk in and out.
Yeah, so she's gonna like, because she's down low, she's gonna actually just like move up to the flap and pull it open, and kind of point the crossbow in there. And if there's anything in there, she's gonna shoot it. Otherwise, she's gonna make her way into the tent, figuring she'll go through it.
Yeah, you pull the flap up. You don't see any other goblins in there. You notice that this probably appears to be like you see a probably a nice little setup of a cot or whatever, and you see a wooden chest in there, and some other items and stuff, trinkets and stuff. But you probably tell this was the leader of the goblins. That probably stays in this tent.
Okay, but I don't see any sign of him right now
Nope,
because
nobody else is in there. Nope.
yeah, I'm doubting that's the leader that I just killed was being. So she's going to move through the tent and cautiously like open the flap on the other side to see what's happening in the middle of the. It's trying to stay hidden inside basically. So she wants to basically see what's going on. So she's not going to try to attack anything. She's not going to rush through and attack something. She's going to kind of walk through slowly and just peek out the tent and see what's going on.
All right, you get to the front and you see this goblin now that's run past the tent, running straight towards Gallo.
Okay, so I mean, I don't think this round I could probably get him because I'm being.
Nope. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, if he's still up next round, I'll pop out and get him. So it's Gallo's turn, right? Is Gallo close enough that he can trample the goblin with the horse?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, that's what he's going to do. He's going to say, "In my country, I was a king," and he's going to ride at him with the horse.
Yeah, he can have. I'll give him a +2 since he's on horseback. You know, he don't get any other kind of bonuses besides that. So.
Okay. Oh my god! Oh, he rolled a 1.
Oh no!
When you started laughing like that, I was like, he either rolled a nat 1 or a nat 20.
Roll me a d6 now.
Oh my god! Okay, 1.
Gallo, well, you tell me. Gallo evidently did something to fall off his horse. He falls into the fire pit.
Yeah, so he's going to try to run the horse directly at this goblin, who's probably like brandishing a sword or something. And, he's thinking, in his country, all these horses are trained for combat, but this is just a simple riding horse that Kieran bought for him. So the riding horse like immediately rears up and he flies off the horse and lands into the fire pit. And
he is going to take, 4 points of fire damage.
He falls into the pit and screams out in pain as he dies and is engulfed in flames.
Oh, man.
Like, I was a king. Yeah.
And to this day, we still celebrate Burning Man.
Wow. Man, what an epic scene there for just a moment.
Oh my god, too funny.
Wow. Well, the goblin is running towards Gallo, sees this happen. Let's see. He does not notice you at the tent, Kieran. He looks down and sees the other two down there below the bottom of the tents, though, the small tents. And let me see what he's going to do. Oh, he's going to run that way. He starts running and straight towards, screaming at you, Sai, you and Nutriel. I guess you killed his cousins or whatever. Nice. He cannot get to you right now, though. As we are back towards you, Sai.
All right, Sai will quickly lock a rock into her sling, like she probably had it, like I said, like in her fist before. So she'll just dip it. How far away is this goblin?
We'll say 10, 20, 30, 40.
All right, so medium. So she slings this sling shot. Mate, an 11.
11 will miss him.
So it's about his ear. And can Nu get to him?
What is Nu wearing any armor?
Leather armor.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I ain't gonna worry about 5 or 10 feet. We'll say he can get to him.
Okay. So if he can get to him, then he will attempt to hit him with his longsword.
Is he on foot or is he on horseback?
I imagine he was on foot the first time.
All right, fine. All right, yeah, he can get to him.
He only rolled a 10, so he tries to engage with this goblin, and but he's like out of breath and stuff by the time he gets there. So he's like, probably displays his attack too much,
Yep, y'all tried. Kieran, you're standing in the the flap of the tent or the front of it or whatever, however you want to do that. But you see all this happening, and before you do what you're going to do, roll me a d6.
Okay. 6.
Yeah, you've seen your friend just burning to death there, and then you see Sai and Nutriel miss this, what you would think would be the last goblin.
Okay, I mean, being that there are 2 mighty warriors, and There's one goblin. She's gonna pop out of the tent, kind of look back and forth to make sure there's nobody standing there that she can see her really easily. And she's gonna make her way quickly and stealthily to the cage wagon, because she's gonna try to free the prisoners. Well, I mean, I'm guessing they're probably in there with a key. So she's gonna move up to like one of the bodies of the people that she shot and see if there's a key on them. I guess would be the best thing to do.
Yep, you find a ring of keys on the nearest one there as you move that way.
Yeah, and as soon as I probably can't do it this round, but I'm gonna head towards the wagon and unlock them as soon as I can.
You get to the wagon and you see a red-haired elf in there. You see a chubby human teen boy. You see another human that's still wearing this black shiny leather armor, and you see a blonde human female wearing these robes in there.
So
they appear to be all frightened out of their mind.
Yep, she's gonna say, "We've come to rescue you. The gnome has your best interest at mind," and she's actually going to toss the keys up to the red-headed elf so they can let themselves out, and then she's going to just like have her crossbow at ready so nothing sneaks up on them while they do it, so she's not distracted.
As soon as you do that, you hear coming from the northeast on that map where it looks like there was a shrubby of bushes or trees.
Yep.
Above the wagon.
Yep.
You hear something coming at a high rate of speed.
Oh boy.
This is what you will see coming towards you. You see a goblin riding this large wolf.
Oh boy.
He's got a sword out. Anybody speak goblin?
No, I don't speak any extra languages.
No.
All right. He's yelling something in goblin.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. So it's up to him and the one goblin. I'm going to start with the one goblin that is facing your hitchman side. He's going to try to sort him down. Oh, man. He's going to hit for 3 points on Nutriel side.
Oh, he hits Nutriel for 3 points?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Nutriel will take 3.
Okay. Sorry, let me find my character sheet here for Nutriel. I believe he's still up.
Yeah, he's got 4. He's got 4. He's got 4. The goblin on the wolf is going, let me see. Oh, yeah, he can get to you, Kieran, as he rides. And it looks like he's going to try to do one of those maneuvers where he's just going to ride the wolf right over the top of you.
Oh, great.
Oh, that's not good. He hits you. You'll take 6 points of damage as him, the wolf, just mow you down and right over the top of you.
Okay. Ouch.
And you hear him screaming and yelling, probably curse words in Goblin as he runs over you, and he's maneuvering and turning around to come back towards you. As we're up to you, Sai. And of course, Sai, you and Nutriel see this larger goblin and this large wolf by now too.
Okay, Sai is gonna try and run up and hit the one goblin that's left. If she can make it with a melee this turn.
Yeah, you're able to get to him.
Okay. Oh, 19 plus 2, 21 to hit.
All right.
And she smacks him for max damage of 6.
Yeah, you smack him down then. Tell me how you smack him down.
Yeah, so she runs up and she jumps and like twirls her staff in the air, and as she comes down, she just lands with a thwack on his skull, and he falls down like just immediately. Like just like a nail getting hit by a hammer.
All right.
And then Nutriel, he quickly kind of like just like throws his sword into the ground real quick, like a quick place to have it at his side, and he begins to move his arms around as all of these like lightning bugs start to appear around him, and he has this mystic elven language that he speaks as he blows the lightning bugs over towards this goblin and wolf and attempts to put them to sleep.
Perfect. Roll me 1d6.
3.
You see the wolf that the goblin's on, you see it just fall to the ground. As it falls, it kind of like it's just lying down for the goblin to get off, but you see it fall to the ground. As it does, the goblin, let me see how he falls off. Yeah, he made his save. He gets off of it safely enough. You see the wolf snoring. The goblin chief, or whatever he is standing there looking and cursing straight towards you, Kieran. And we're up to you, Kieran.
Okay. She's going to. He has a sword, right?
Yeah, he has a wicked looking sword, but you can tell it's better quality than the rest of them had.
All right. How big is the cage? So what I'm getting at is, if I was to stand in the center of the cage, do I think he could reach me with the sword if it was doors closed?
Yeah, you would think he'd be able to reach in and poke you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then in that case, I'm going to roll under the thing a little bit, just so I have a little bit of cover, and I'm going to shoot him with the crossbow.
All right, you're going to try to roll up under the wagon.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. I mean, I'm at I'm assuming I'm on the ground because he trampled over me with the
right.
So I'm just gonna kind of, instead of getting up all the way, I'm just gonna roll slightly under the wagon just to give me a little bit of cover if that's possible. Although
yeah, perfect.
It may not make a difference because he's so short. And I rolled a 10 plus. It would be it would be plus 6 still because he's still at short range. So that'd be a 16.
Yeah, that hits him.
Okay, 16 hits. 5 minus 1, so 4 points of damage from the crossbow.
He's cursing at you pretty bad now.
Yeah.
He is going to take off running towards you then, Kieran, and he is going to try to slice his sword at you because he doesn't know what's happened to his pet.
Luckily.
Oh no, a nat 20.
Oh, that's the end of me.
That's probably, yeah. That'll be 6, and I rolled a 6 for damage, so 12 points of damage.
Are we doing the save death?
Yeah, what will that put you at?
-4.
Yep, save at -4.
Okay. It'd be hard to make it, but no. I rolled a 4, so 0. I think that's a fail.
All right, you're unconscious then.
Okay. She drops.
Right now. Sai, we are back up to you as you see this goblin chief, this pissed off goblin chief just slice down into Kieran, and Kieran's not moving.
How far away is he?
That will be 10, 20, 30, we'll say 30 to 40.
Okay, she's pretty hurt herself. All right. Yeah, no, she's got to save her friend. So yeah, so if she can, she'll run to meet him in melee.
Yeah, you can run up and attack him. You can make it.
All right. So she swings with her staff. 17 to hit.
There you go.
Yeah, 17 hits him.
But she only does 1 point of damage. So like she barely thwacks his ear.
Yeah, when you do that, he turns at you, cursing you in his malevolent eyes. You can tell he's pissed at you now.
And New is going to run up and try and he pulls his sword from the ground and runs up and tries to help out. But he only does an 11. So
yeah, 11.
Yeah. Okay.
Kieran, roll me first before you do anything. Roll me a d6.
Okay. 2.
I'm going to say that you threw that ring of keys that you got them into the wagon, and you made them into the wagon before all that happened.
Okay, good. Yeah.
So there's something else could be happening. Of course, Sai would not know that. Then we're up to you, Kieran. Make me another save, just regular save, no bonus or negatives or anything, just regular save.
Okay. Here we go. Oh, of course I drop it on the ground. Let me get the d20. 2. Sadly, Karen is not very lucky today.
Nope. Unfortunately, that will take the blood out of Karen, unfortunately. Yeah. The Goblin Chief, now that he's got 2 people on him, he's going to look towards your henchman and swing that sword at him. Oh, my. Another nat 20. That, he'll take 8 points of damage, the henchman, Sai. You there, Crystal?
Sorry, I was giving a dramatic death. New He gets stabbed straight up like through the rib cage, and obviously like his lungs and vital organs are hit, and blood begins to pour from his mouth. And he says, "Please return my body to my people." And then he falls back off the sword and hits the ground bleeding out.
The goblin chief lets out this bellowing laughter as he looks towards the only opponent he has now, as we are up to you, Sai.
Oh, nice. Okay, so I was rolling that for me.
All right, remember, so max damage and then roll again or whatever.
All right, so yeah, so Sai, like this deep anger comes over her, like this kind of anger that, you know, like her monk training typically allows her to control and push under, you know, like anyone who knows her typically knows her like very calm nature, but her eyes fill with this just malevolent hate towards this being as it laughs at what it did. And she says, "You shall not escape here alive today, you foul beast." As she pushes her chakra like through her staff and just like smacks this thing's head like it was a baseball. She were using a baseball bat, and it takes 9 points of damage.
That's enough.
And yeah, and it's like when she does it, like she like hits his lower jaw, and it just like his head just like spins, and you hear his neck just go, and like his body stands there for just a second, like it's so in shock that it just didn't know what happened. And then finally, it just like hits the knees and falls back dead.
Exactly. I mean, his whole face is still in amazement at thinking that this tiny monk took him out of what he just, all the carnage he just leveled on everybody else. But he is down. You can finish the wolf off. It is sleeping, of course. By that time, you hear keys jingling and ringing as you see the kid wearing the black shiny leather armor is fiddling with the lock and getting the caged wagon open.
Yeah, so she sees that, and her face is full of sorrow as she bows over the bodies of her friends and begins to basically give them a blessing and a prayer from her homeland. And I guess if we will do the how it ends, then
in just a moment though. But as you search around the goblin camp, you can find some stuff in the wagon.
Oh, okay.
Roll me a D100 to start with.
Okay. 44.
44. You find this isn't all the goblin bodies and stuff that, you know, their pockets or whatever you look for, or felt pouches. You find a 1 silver piece. You find 14 gold, 11 copper, and 1 platinum piece. And you find a bag of like charcoal sticks. That's what you found on the goblin bodies. As you look around, and part of the wagon was like a cage, and the front of it had, you know, stuff in the front of it. You know, when you look in the goblin tent, roll me another D100. In fact, roll me 2 of them, two different results.
Okay. First is 45, and okay. If I get a 46, that'll be awesome. Nope, 26.
All right, I'm going to 26 first, since it's the first one to come to. Oh, wow, this is kind of weird. You find I'm going to change it up a little bit because it will fit with the story. You find a sack of Gnarlynut, that herb. You find a big sack of it. You find a wooden box, you know, a very ornate looking wooden box that you open up. It's very light though, the contents. You open it up, it's got all these different color feathers in it, like all these different feathers off different birds and stuff. You find another wooden box that has got a bunch of like wax candles. You find a pouch of gold pieces, just full of gold pieces. but you feel like they weigh less than what they should, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And then you find, let's see if I can do this without laughing. You find a rag doll, a toy rag doll of a goblin child.
Okay.
That's what you find on that one. Now let's go to 45. Oh, this is funny. I'm going because I'm going to change it to fit too. You find it's written in Goblin, so you don't exactly know what it says. Maybe you can pick up a word or two, or maybe some of those young people can help you. But you think of the way it's written, it's some kind of love letter, maybe from the Goblin chieftain to his wife. Uh, you find a map, a folded up map that shows and leads to who knows where. You find a pouch of small stones, and you find a very ornate looking, very well handmade razor, razor kit. And you'd think it might be worth 10 gold if you sold it. And then you found a pair of shoddy goblin dice.
Mm.
And I think there's one more thing here. Let me look, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, roll me one more D100. You found like this big wooden chest in the tent.
34.
34. In that chest, you find it's a whole bundle of leather armor. I mean, you would think there's probably 4 sets of leather armor that's in there. They're human size. It's bundled up and strapped up. You find a big wheel of cheese, and you find a sack that's a small sack that you could probably put over your head. It's got eye holes cut out in it, and you find a bear trap.
Okay.
And yeah, we're at the point now as nothing else happens. No half owl, half bears come out to see what's going on. No more wolves. So, Si, I want you to tell me how the story's going to end as you've rescued. Unfortunately, you've lost your companions, but you've rescued the 4 youngsters.
Yeah, she'll get them to help her with her friends, and yeah, she'll keep her promise to return each of the bodies to their homeland. Keeping them preserved as best she can, with the knowledge she would know of like different herbs and stuff. Those adventurers probably join her and help her out, since it was due to the efforts of she and her companions that they are free and not a goblin mill and everything. And once all of that is done, she promises that she will return to this area, and she's going to basically seek vengeance upon the rest of this goblin clan. She has this map that might lead to their lair or whatever. She has like this little goblin rag doll. She's gonna try not to mess with it much. She thinks maybe she could get a war dog or something that maybe could sniff out the scent, and also this goblin love letter. So yeah, that's her plans for the future.
All right, sounds good. Any last thoughts for Kieran?
Yeah, Karen, as she feels the life kind of pass through her, she thinks that her life was well lived and that she did many of the things that she wanted to do in life. So she doesn't really have any regrets, except there's still one more of those muffins that she never finished, and then she dies.
Unfortunately, she got the set of keys to the youngsters, just not in time for them to get out and help, though.
Yeah.
Close, but no cigar.
At least they got.
Yep, y'all were able to get back the 4 young adventurers that you rescue, or help you do anything. Of course, I mean, you get the horses back. Bale, was sad to hear about the loss of your 3 companions, and he's glad to get his horses back too. But he's glad everybody that could make it back safe did. As the four adventurers decide that they're going to not go in the forest anytime soon, they decide that maybe they should go to a city and see what happens in the big city. They head out. Uh, Bale offers you to stay for tea again and dinner when you get back in a couple days from there. And he looks at you, sigh, and he goes, "Well, your friend, the halfling. I think I'm going to dedicate a corner of the shop to that little halfling, and I've got a friend that does wood carving. Maybe I can get him to carve like a wooden statue of your friend, and just dedicate a part of the shop to, like, for fighters and stuff to come in for equipment. But let me look here. I told you I would give you something special for this." And he starts digging around, and well, it's got to be here somewhere. Hold on, and I'm looking around, and oh, here it is. You tell me what he gives you, Si.
He gives Sai a ring, and when she puts it on, she discovers that after a while that it's a ring of protection +1.
That sounds good. And he has the wooden memorial built, the statue of Kieran set up. And if you ever come back this way, you will see it. And that pretty much ends our adventure known as Bale's Bewildering Predicament, playing White Box. Thanks to Crystal for playing Sai and her henchman, and thanks to Daniel for playing Kieran the Halfling. And that will end this adventure for us.